Hello and welcome to Edge of Mind. Tonight we are going to explore a question that sits beneath every other question you have ever asked. It is the kind of question that can stop your mind completely. The kind that has puzzled the greatest thinkers in history and remains unanswered to this day. Why is there anything at all? Not why are you here? Not why is the earth here? Something deeper than that. Why is there something rather than nothing? If you are listening from somewhere in the world tonight, let me know where you are. Drop a comment and share your corner of existence. It is always nice to know where these thoughts are landing. Think about it for a moment. There could have been nothing, no universe, no space, no time, no atoms, no energy, no light, no darkness, not even emptiness, because emptiness is still a kind of something, just absolute nothing. But that is not what happened. Something exists. You exist. The stars exist. The ground beneath you exists. And no one knows why. This question has followed humanity for thousands of years. Ancient philosophers sat under the night sky and wondered about it. Scientists have built telescopes and particle accelerators trying to understand it. Children ask it naturally before anyone teaches them to, and the adults never know quite what to say. Tonight, we are not going to answer this question. Nobody has, but we are going to sit with it together. We are going to turn it over and look at it from different angles, and maybe by the end something will have shifted. Not an answer, but a feeling, a sense of how strange and remarkable it is that anything exists at all, including you. Let your body settle wherever you are. Let your breathing slow down. There is nowhere to rush to tonight. We are just going to wander together. The first thing to notice is how strange the question becomes the longer you sit with it. We are used to asking why about things inside the world. Why does the sun rise? Why do objects fall? Why do we feel hungry? These questions have answers. We can point to causes and explanations. But when you ask why there is a world at all, there is nothing outside of it to point to. There is no bigger container that explains the universe. There is no cause that came before, because before is part of time, and time is part of what we are asking about. The question swallows everything. It includes everything. There is no place to stand outside of existence and look at it objectively. And here is something even stranger. You are asking this question. You exist. You are part of the something that somehow came to be. So in a way, the universe is asking about itself. Existence is wondering why it exists. Matter has arranged itself into a pattern that can question matter. That alone is worth pausing over. Let us think about what nothing would actually mean. Not empty space, because space is something. It has properties. It can bend and stretch. It is part of the universe, not the absence of it. Not darkness. Because darkness is just the absence of light. There would still be a place where light could be. There would still be space for darkness to fill. Not silence, because silence is the absence of sound. There would still be air that could vibrate, ears that could hear. True nothing would be different from all of that. It would be the absence of space itself, the absence of time, the absence of any possibility for anything to exist or happen or change. No dimensions, no laws, no potential, nothing at all. Can you picture that? Most people cannot. The moment you try to imagine nothing, your mind puts something there. A black emptiness, a void, an empty room, but all of those are still things. They still have properties. They still exist in some sense. Nothing is impossible to imagine because imagination itself is something. Thoughts are something. The mind doing the imagining is something. You cannot use existence to picture the absence of existence. The tools do not work. We are so deeply inside the something that we cannot think our way out of it, and maybe that is telling us something important. Some philosophers have argued that this proves nothing is impossible. If we cannot even conceive of true nothing, maybe nothing was never really an option. Maybe existence is the default. Maybe something had to be. Others say we should not trust our imagination so much. Just because we cannot picture something does not mean it is impossible. Our minds have limits. Maybe true, nothing is possible, and we just cannot wrap our heads around it. We do not know which view is correct, but either way the mystery remains. Why is there something rather than nothing? Let us look at what science has to say about this, or more accurately, what science cannot say. Physics has made incredible progress in describing the universe. We know it is about 13.8 billion years old. We know it began in an incredibly hot, dense state that we call the Big Bang. We know it has been expanding and cooling ever since. Scientists can trace the history of the cosmos back to a fraction of a second after the beginning. They can describe how particles formed, how atoms came together, how stars ignited and galaxies gathered. It is an astonishing achievement of human knowledge. But here is the thing. The Big Bang describes how the universe expanded. It does not explain why there was anything to expand. It tells us what happened after the beginning. It does not tell us why there was a beginning at all. Some physicists talk about quantum fluctuations, about the possibility that something can come from nothing according to the laws of physics. But this is tricky. The laws of physics are something, quantum fields are something. If the universe emerged from quantum mechanics, you can ask where quantum mechanics came from. The mystery just moves back one step. Science is brilliant at explaining how things work within the universe. It describes the rules that govern matter and energy, but explaining why there is a universe with rules, why there is anything at all for science to study, that seems to be beyond what science can reach. Not because science is weak, but because the question is asking for something different. This is not a failure. It is an honest recognition of limits. Science explains things by pointing to other things. This happened because of that. That happened because of something else. A chain of causes stretching back through time. But when you ask about existence itself, you are asking about the whole chain. Why is there a chain at all? Why is there something to cause something else? No link in the chain can answer that. The answer would have to come from somewhere outside the chain, and there does not seem to be an outside. Throughout history, philosophers have tried many approaches to this question. Some ancient thinkers said the universe must be eternal. It has always existed. They argued, there was no beginning, so there is no need to explain how something came from nothing. It just always was. This avoids the question in one way, but it raises others. Can something really stretch back forever? Is an infinite past even possible? And even if the universe is eternal, we can still ask why. Why is there an eternal universe rather than eternal nothing? Other philosophers said there must be a first cause, something that started everything else, something that exists by its own nature and needs no further explanation. But this has problems too. If everything needs a cause, what caused the first cause? And if the first cause does not need a cause, why can't the universe itself be the thing that needs no cause? Why add an extra step? Some modern thinkers say the question itself might be confused. Maybe asking why there is something rather than nothing is like asking what is north of the North Pole. It sounds meaningful, but actually does not make sense. Maybe existence is not the kind of thing that needs an explanation, but many people find this unsatisfying. The question still feels real. The sense of wonder does not go away just because someone says the question is confused. And some philosophers have suggested that all possible things exist, that reality includes everything that could be. In this view, our universe is just one among countless others, and asking why it exists is like asking why a particular number appears in an infinite sequence. It appears because everything appears. But even this does not fully answer the question. Why is there an infinite sequence? Why is there anything at all? Whether one universe or many, every answer seems to lead to more questions. Every explanation opens new puzzles. The question keeps slipping away, refusing to be pinned down. Maybe that is the nature of this question. Maybe it is not meant to be answered in the usual way. Maybe it is meant to show us the limits of what questions can do. We are used to questions having answers. We learn this as children. What is 2 plus 2? What is the capital of France? Questions and answers, back and forth. Our minds are built for this. But some questions might be different. Some questions might be doorways into something beyond answers. Not because we are not smart enough, but because the question itself points to the edge of what can be understood. Why is there something rather than nothing might be one of those questions. A question that humbles us. A question that shows us how much we do not know and perhaps cannot know. And maybe that is okay. Maybe we do not need to answer every question. Maybe some questions are for wondering, not solving. Maybe the wonder itself is the point. Let that settle for a moment. Do not try to figure anything out. Just feel the weight of the question. Feel how it opens everything up. Feel how strange it makes the ordinary world seem. You are lying somewhere right now. Maybe in bed. Maybe on a couch. Your body is pressing against a surface. Gravity is holding you down. Air is filling your lungs. All of that exists. The surface, the gravity, the air, your body, none of it had to be here. And yet here it all is. Right now, in this moment, existence is happening. The universe is being, and you are part of it, aware of it, wondering about it. Think about where you are at this exact moment. You are on a planet. That planet is spinning, carrying you through space at about 1,000 miles per hour. At the same time, the Earth is orbiting the Sun at about 67,000 miles per hour, and the whole solar system is moving through the galaxy. And the galaxy itself is moving through the universe. You are hurtling through space right now. Even though you feel perfectly still, the motion is so constant that you do not notice it. But it is happening. You are flying through the cosmos at incredible speed, while lying in bed thinking about existence. All of that motion is something. The space you are moving through is something. The forces that keep you on the surface of the Earth are something. It is all part of the great something that exists. And you are aware of it. You can think about it. You can picture yourself on this spinning, orbiting, flying planet. Part of a galaxy, part of a universe. No other species on Earth can do this. As far as we know, no dolphin lies awake at night thinking about cosmic motion. No elephant wonders about existence. Only humans have this capacity. Why did evolution produce beings who can contemplate the cosmos? What survival advantage is there in wondering about existence? Maybe none. Maybe it is just an accident. Maybe big brains evolved for practical reasons, and the ability to wonder came along for free. Or maybe there is something deeper going on. We do not know, but here you are, doing it. Wondering about the cosmos while riding a planet through space. The stars do not know they are burning. The galaxies do not know they are spinning. Space does not know it is vast. Only you know. Only conscious beings like you can look out at the universe and ask why. That is strange and significant. In all that vastness, you are one of the rare places where existence is aware of itself. One of the spots where the universe opens its eyes. How did that happen? How did matter become aware? That is another mystery wrapped inside the first one. Scientists can study the brain. They can map neurons and trace signals. They can see which parts light up when you think different thoughts. But they cannot explain why there is experience at all. Why it feels like something to be you. A rock exists but does not experience anything. A star exists but does not feel its own burning. Most of the universe just is, without any inner awareness. But you are different. You know you exist. You feel things. You have an inner world that belongs to you alone. This is perhaps the deepest mystery of all. Not just that things exist, but that some things experience existing. Not just that the universe is, but that part of it knows it is. You are existence experiencing itself. You are the universe aware of the universe. You are matter that somehow learned to wonder about matter. When you ask, why is there something rather than nothing? You are the something asking about itself. The question and the questioner are made of the same stuff. The mystery is investigating itself. That is remarkable. That is worth sitting with. That is part of what makes this question so different from others. Let us explore another angle. Think about the laws of physics for a moment. The universe follows rules. Gravity pulls masses together. Light travels at a constant speed. Atoms combine according to precise patterns. These rules are consistent everywhere we look. The same physics applies on Earth and in distant galaxies. The same equations work here and billions of light years away. The universe is orderly. It makes sense. It follows patterns. But why? Why is there order rather than chaos? Why does reality obey laws? There is no obvious reason why there should be rules. The universe could have been random. Things could have happened for no reason, in no pattern, with no consistency. But they do not. There is structure, there is logic, there is mathematics underneath everything. Because there are rules, complex things can exist. Stars can burn steadily instead of flickering randomly. Planets can orbit predictably instead of flying off in all directions. Chemistry can work. Life can evolve. Minds can develop. If there were no rules, none of this would be possible. You would not be possible. Existence would be a meaningless jumble. So when we ask why is there something rather than nothing, we are also asking why is there order rather than chaos? Why does the universe make sense? Why is there structure at all? Some people think order implies design, that rules suggest a rule maker, that the mathematics behind reality must come from somewhere. Others think order might be necessary for existence, that without structure nothing could persist long enough to count as existing, that randomness might be a kind of nothing in disguise. We do not know which view is right, but the order is real. You live in an orderly universe, a universe that follows patterns, a universe that can be understood, at least partially. And that is part of the something. The rules are something. The structure is something. The mathematics is something. It is all woven into the fabric of existence. Here is another layer to consider. Time is part of existence. Moments happen. Things change. The past becomes the present, becomes the future. But why is there time? Why does anything happen at all? Why is existence not just a frozen, unchanging state? Some physicists think time might be an illusion, that past, present, and future all exist together, like a book where all the pages are there at once. We experience them one at a time, but they all exist equally. If that is true, then the question changes slightly. Why is there this whole structure of time, all at once? Why is there a past, present, and future to experience? Others think time is more fundamental, that the flow of moments is real, that existence is genuinely a process of becoming, not just a static structure. Either way, time is part of the mystery. The fact that things happen, that there is change, that moments pass, all of this is part of the something that exists. When you ask why is there something rather than nothing, you are also asking why is there time? Why does anything ever happen? And you are asking it right now, in this moment, which is itself part of the something you are asking about. The question and the moment in which you ask it are both part of existence. Everything loops back on itself. The question includes itself. The mystery contains the one who investigates it. Consider meaning for a moment. You are lying here, wondering about existence, but you are also living your life. You have relationships. You have goals. You have things that matter to you. Those things are real. They are part of existence too. The meaning in your life is something. It is part of the something rather than nothing. Some people think meaning is just a human invention, a story we tell ourselves, a pattern we impose on a meaningless universe. Others think meaning might be woven into the fabric of things, that consciousness and caring and mattering are as real as atoms and forces. We do not know, but we know that meaning feels real to you. Love feels real. Purpose feels real. The difference between a life well lived and a life wasted feels real. Those feelings are part of existence. They are part of what the universe produces when matter becomes conscious. They are part of what happens when existence becomes aware of itself. So when you ask, why is there something rather than nothing, you can also ask, why is there meaning? Why do things matter? Why does love exist? Why does purpose feel important? The mystery is not just about physics. It is about everything that exists, including the inner world of experience and value. It is about the whole thing, not just the measurable parts. Your life is part of the whole thing. Your feelings are part of the whole thing. Your wondering right now is part of the whole thing. It all exists. It is all something rather than nothing, and none of it has an ultimate explanation. But it is here. You are here. And somehow that is enough to be going on with. Here is a way to think about all of this. Imagine existence as an ocean, vast, deep, without edges. Everything that exists is part of this ocean. Every star, every atom, every thought, every feeling, all of it is water in this endless sea. You are a wave in this ocean, a temporary shape that rises up, holds together for a while, and eventually subsides back into the whole. While you are a wave, you can look around at other waves. You can wonder where the ocean came from. You can ask why there is water at all. But you cannot step outside the ocean to see it from somewhere else. There is no shore to stand on. There is only water in every direction forever. The question, why is there something rather than nothing, is like a wave asking why there is an ocean. It is a valid question. It points to something real. But the wave cannot answer it because the wave is made of ocean. The wave has no way to get outside and look. You are made of existence. Your thoughts are made of existence. Your question is made of existence. There is no outside from which to see the whole thing clearly. This might seem frustrating, but it can also be freeing. If you cannot answer the question, you do not have to. If no one can step outside existence, then no one is expected to explain it from outside. The mystery is not a failure. It is just how things are. You can rest in the ocean. You can enjoy being a wave. You can wonder about the water without needing to know where it came from. The wondering itself is a kind of answer, not an explanation, but a response, a way of being with the mystery, a way of honoring how strange it all is. And that is what you are doing tonight, being with the mystery, honoring the strangeness, resting in the ocean of existence without needing to explain it. If you are still listening, I am grateful. These are big thoughts, and you have stayed with them. That means something. It means you are willing to sit with difficulty, willing to face questions that have no answers, willing to wonder. Those are good qualities. They will serve you well, not just in thinking about existence, but in life itself. The willingness to stay with hard things, the patience to sit with uncertainty, the courage to keep wondering. Take those qualities with you when you go. Use them tomorrow and the day after. Let them guide you through the inevitable confusions of being alive. Because life is confusing. The world does not make perfect sense. Things happen that cannot be explained. And the ability to be okay with that, to keep going without having all the answers, that is a kind of wisdom. Tonight you practiced that wisdom. You sat with the biggest question there is and did not demand an answer. You let the mystery be mysterious. You rested in not knowing. That is a skill. That is something you can develop. And every time you do it, you become a little more at peace with the strangeness of being alive. The night is deep now. The wondering has done its work. Now it is time for rest. If you are enjoying this journey, consider subscribing to the channel. There are more quiet explorations like this one awaiting you, but no pressure. For now, just stay with the wondering. Let us bring this to a close. You asked tonight, or we asked together, why is there something rather than nothing? We did not find an answer, but we found something else. We found the question itself, in all its depth. We found the strangeness of existence. We found the wonder that arises when you really look at the fact that anything is here at all. We found that you are part of the something made of it. immersed in it, unable to step outside it, but able to wonder about it from within. We found that the universe, through you, can ask questions about itself. That existence in you becomes aware of its own mystery. That matter, arranged into the pattern of your brain, can contemplate why there is matter at all. These are not answers, but they are observations, ways of sitting with the question, ways of holding the mystery without needing to solve it. And now, let them settle. Let everything you have thought about tonight sink into a quiet place. Let your mind stop reaching and just rest. The question will still be here tomorrow, and the day after, and for the rest of your life. It never goes away. It is always underneath, waiting for those moments when you have time to notice it. But you do not have to notice it every moment. You can let it rest. You can focus on other things. You can live your life without constantly wondering why there is a life to live. And then, every now and then, you can come back. You can sit with the question again. You can feel the wonder again. This is one of those times, and you are here for it. Picture the night sky for a moment. If you were standing outside right now, away from city lights, you would see thousands of stars, each one a sun burning in the darkness, unimaginably far away. The nearest star to our sun is about 4 light-years distant. That means light, the fastest thing there is, takes 4 years to travel between them, and light moves at about 670 million miles per hour. The galaxy we live in contains several 100 billion stars, and it is just one galaxy among trillions. The observable universe stretches about 93 billion light-years across, and there might be more beyond what we can see. All of it exists. All of it is something rather than nothing, and most of it is empty. The universe is not crowded. It is spectacularly, overwhelmingly empty. Vast distances of nothing between islands of something. Space is mostly darkness, sprinkled with rare points of light. But even that, emptiness is something. Even empty space has properties. It can expand. It can curve. It contains fields and quantum fluctuations. It is not true nothing. It is part of the something. Everywhere we look, existence is there. We have never found a patch of true nothing. We probably never will, because to find it we would have to be somewhere, and that somewhere would already be something. We are surrounded by existence, immersed in it, made of it. We cannot escape it, even in thought, and all of it, the whole vast cosmos, raises the same question. Why is it here? Why is any of it here? Why is there something rather than nothing? The question applies to the smallest particle and the largest galaxy. It applies to the briefest moment and the longest span of time. It applies to everything equally, because everything is equally part of the something that mysteriously is. Feel the scale of that. Feel how the question extends in every direction, covering everything that exists. There is no corner of reality where the question does not apply. And yet, here you are, a tiny part of this vast something, able to ask the question, able to feel the wonder, able to notice how strange it all is. That is not nothing. In a universe mostly empty and mostly unaware, you are a point of consciousness, a place where existence knows itself, a spot where the mystery becomes aware of being a mystery. Consider time for a moment. The universe is about 13.8 billion years old. That is a number too large to really grasp, but let us try. Imagine all of cosmic history compressed into a single year. January 1st is the Big Bang. December 31st at midnight is right now. Each month is a little over 1 billion years. On this scale, the first stars ignite around January 20th. The Milky Way forms in the spring. Our sun and solar system do not appear until early September. The universe is already more than 2/3 of the way through its history before Earth exists. Life emerges on Earth in late September, but it remains single-celled for a long time. Multicellular animals do not appear until mid-December. Dinosaurs arrive on December 26th and disappear on December 30th. Mammals diversify on the last day of the year. Human ancestors begin walking upright around 11:40 at night on December 31st. Modern humans appear at about 11:52, 8 minutes before midnight. All of recorded history happens in the final seconds of the year. Every civilization, every war, every invention, every book ever written, all in a cosmic blink. Your entire life is a fraction of a second on this scale, a tiny flash in an ancient story. That might feel humbling. And it is. We are small. Our lives are brief. The universe stretches far beyond us in every direction. But consider what this means from another angle. For almost the entire cosmic year, there was no awareness anywhere. Stars burned without anyone to see them. Galaxies formed without anyone to know. The universe existed but did not know it existed. Then, in the final moments of the final day, something changed. Matter woke up. Awareness emerged. After billions of years of unconscious existence, the cosmos produced beings who could look back across all that time and wonder. You are part of that awakening. In the brief moment you exist, you get to know the story. You get to feel wonder. You get to ask questions that the universe spent billions of years becoming able to ask. That is not nothing. In a cosmos mostly dark and mostly unaware, consciousness is rare and precious. The ability to wonder, to feel awe, to love, and hope and grieve. These are not common properties of matter. Most atoms will never be part of anything that thinks yours are. You are the universe, aware of itself, wondering about itself. You are existence asking the deepest question existence can ask. And you are doing it right now, in this moment, in this breath. Let us slow down even more. Notice your body. Feel the weight of it. Feel the surface beneath you, holding you up. That body is made of atoms. Trillions of them, arranged in patterns, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, and smaller amounts of dozens of other elements. Those atoms are old. The hydrogen in you has been around since the beginning, 13.8 billion years old, give or take. It has never been destroyed, just passed around. The heavier atoms were made in stars. Billions of years ago, massive stars fused lighter elements into heavier ones. When those stars exploded, they scattered their contents across space. And eventually, some of those atoms ended up in you. You are made of ancient materials. Recycled stardust arranged into a pattern that can think and feel and wonder. The carbon in your cells was forged in a stellar furnace before our sun existed. That carbon has been many things, part of interstellar clouds, part of asteroids, part of the early Earth, part of countless organisms over billions of years, and now, temporarily, it is part of you. The atoms do not know this. They are just atoms. But you know, you are the knowing that has emerged from unknowing matter. How did that happen? Why did that happen? We know the history. We can trace how atoms form and stars burn and life evolves, but we do not know why there is matter to form into atoms. We do not know why there are laws that allow stars to burn. We do not know why existence is set up in a way that eventually produces wandering beings. The history goes back and back, but it never reaches an ultimate explanation. It just reaches more history. Until you hit the beginning, and then the questions really start. Why was there a beginning? Why was there anything to begin? The atoms in your body do not ask these questions. But you do, and that might be the strangest thing of all. There is a kind of comfort that can come from sitting with questions that have no answers. Most of our lives we are trying to figure things out, solve problems, get answers, move on to the next thing. But some things cannot be figured out. Some questions do not have solutions. And learning to rest in that, to be at peace with not knowing, is its own kind of wisdom. You do not have to understand why there is something rather than nothing. Nobody does. The greatest minds in history have wrestled with this question and come up empty. And yet, here you are, existing anyway, living anyway, wondering anyway. The lack of an answer does not stop existence from being. It does not stop you from being. Maybe that is a clue. Maybe existence does not need permission or explanation. Maybe it just is, and our job is not to figure it out, but to participate in it. You are participating right now. By existing, by being aware, by wondering. That participation is not nothing. It is what the universe does when it becomes conscious. It wonders about itself. It asks impossible questions. It sits with mysteries it cannot solve. And somehow, that is enough. It has to be enough. Because there is nothing else. Just existence. Wondering about existence. Just the something. Asking about the something. Let that be your resting place tonight. Not an answer, but a question. Not certainty, but wonder. Not understanding, but appreciation for how strange and beautiful it all is. Here is something to consider as the night deepens. Every culture throughout history has wondered about existence, different languages, different lands, different eras, but the same basic amazement. Ancient Greek philosophers asked why there is being rather than non-being. Indian sages asked what underlies all appearances. Chinese thinkers asked about the origin of the 10,000 things. Indigenous cultures around the world told stories about how the world came to be. The details differ. The frameworks differ, but the wonder is the same. Humans everywhere, in every time and place, have looked at existence and felt amazement. You are part of that tradition now. You are joining a conversation that stretches back to the beginning of human awareness. By asking this question, you connect yourself to everyone who has ever asked it. That is millions of people across thousands of years. Philosophers and farmers, scientists and children, kings and beggars, all looking at the same mystery, all feeling the same wonder. The question does not belong to any one culture or person. It belongs to consciousness itself. Wherever awareness appears, the question eventually follows. Why is there anything at all? And the question connects us. It makes us part of the same family. The family of wondering beings. The family of those who notice existence and find it strange. You belong to that family. You have always belonged. Tonight you are adding your voice to theirs. Most days you probably do not think about this. You wake up, go through your routine, handle your responsibilities. The ordinary stuff of life fills your attention. And that is fine. That is how it has to be. You cannot walk around all day stunned by the mystery of existence. You would bump into things. You would forget to eat. The mind narrows down to focus on what is in front of you. It solves immediate problems and sets aside the big questions. This is practical. This is how we survive. But sometimes, usually at night, the narrowing relaxes, the focus softens, and the big questions come back. Why am I here? What is all of this? Why is there anything at all? These questions are always there underneath. We just do not notice them most of the time. They are like stars during the day, invisible but still present, waiting for darkness to reveal them. Tonight is one of those times. The darkness has come, the stars are visible, and the questions have returned. You do not have to answer them. You probably cannot answer them, but you can feel them. You can let them remind you how strange everything is. Tomorrow the narrowing will come back. You will focus on tasks and deadlines and details. The big questions will fade into the background, but they will still be there. And knowing they are there even when you cannot see them changes something. It puts everything in perspective. It reminds you that beneath all the busyness, there is a mystery so deep it has no bottom. Your problems are real. Your life matters, but it all unfolds inside a context bigger than you can imagine. And remembering that context can help when things feel heavy. Remember the question, why is there something rather than nothing? Suddenly the heaviness has a frame around it. Suddenly it is not everything. This is one of the gifts of wondering about big questions. They do not solve your problems, but they change the space around your problems. They make room. The night is getting late now. Let your thoughts slow down. Let your body relax. Let everything settle. We have been wondering together about the deepest question there is: why anything exists, why you are here, why there is a universe at all. We did not find an answer. Nobody has, but we found something else. We found wonder. We found perspective. We found the strange feeling of being a part of something vast and mysterious. We found what it feels like to ask questions that might never be answered. That is not failure. That is honesty. That is being humble enough to admit we do not know. And there is peace in that humility. You do not have to figure everything out. The universe got along for billions of years without anyone understanding it. It will continue long after we are gone. Your job is not to explain existence. Your job is just to be part of it, to live it, to feel it, to wonder at it when you can. And tonight, you did that. You wondered. You felt. You sat with something bigger than yourself. That is a good way to spend a night. That is a good way to end a day. Tomorrow you will wake up and the world will still be here. The mystery will still be intact. The question will still be open. But you will be rested. You will have let go for a while. You will have made peace with not knowing. And maybe, in some small way, you will carry a bit of this wonder with you. A quiet recognition, underneath the daily tasks, that everything is strange, that existence is mysterious, that being here at all is remarkable. Let that recognition be a companion, not a burden but a gift, something that makes ordinary moments shimmer with hidden depth. You are something rather than nothing. You are here. You are aware. Nobody knows why, but you can feel it. You can appreciate it. You can rest inside the mystery. And that is enough. That has always been enough. Sleep now. Let your eyes close. Let your breathing slow. The questions will still be here in the morning. The universe will still be here. The wonder will still be available whenever you turn toward it. But for now, just rest. Just be. Just let existence be what it is. And let yourself be part of it. You belong here. You emerged from this universe like a wave emerges from the ocean. You are not separate from it. You are not an outsider looking in. You are existence, experiencing itself, wondering about itself, resting inside itself. Tomorrow, the world begins again. Tonight, it holds you. But before you drift away completely, let me leave you with a few more thoughts. There is something about nighttime that makes these questions feel more real. During the day, everything is bright and busy. There are things to do, places to be, problems to solve. The light keeps us focused on the surface of life, but at night, the surface fades. The darkness creates space for deeper things. The quiet makes room for bigger questions. This is why humans have always done their wondering at night. This is why philosophers and poets and seekers have always loved the dark hours. Something opens up when the day ends. You are in that opening now, that space between the busy day and the quiet sleep, that moment when the mind can stretch beyond its usual limits and touch something larger. There is a long tradition of this. People in every culture, in every era, have used the night for deep thinking. The darkness removes distractions. The quiet creates space. The stillness invites reflection. Ancient philosophers would walk under the stars and think about the nature of reality. Monks in monasteries would rise in the dark hours for contemplation. Scientists have made breakthroughs in the middle of the night, when their minds were free from daily concerns. You are part of this tradition now, not in any formal way, just by being here, in the dark, thinking about deep things. You are doing what humans have always done when the sun goes down and the world gets quiet. And the question you are asking, why is there something rather than nothing, is perhaps the deepest question of all. It is the question underneath all other questions, the mystery that contains all other mysteries. Every other question you could ask is already assuming existence. Why is the sky blue assumes there is a sky? Why do people fall in love assumes there are people? Why did that happen assumes there is happening. But why is there something rather than nothing? Does not assume anything. It questions everything. It pulls the rug out from under all other questions by asking about the very fact of there being a rug. That is why it is so disorienting. That is why it can make your mind go blank. There is nothing to grab onto, no foundation to stand on. The question dissolves the ground beneath your feet, but you do not fall. You are still here. Existence still holds you. The mystery does not swallow you up. You can ask the question and survive. You can wonder about the something while still being part of it. That is interesting. The question does not destroy the questioner. Wondering about existence does not make you stop existing. You can look into the abyss, and the abyss does not look back in a way that undoes you. Maybe that means something. Maybe the fact that we can question existence without being destroyed by the question tells us something about the nature of reality. That it is stable enough to support questioning, strong enough to hold up even when we pull at its foundations. Or maybe it does not mean anything special. Maybe we just happen to be able to ask questions that we cannot answer, and that is neither deep nor shallow, just a fact about how our minds work. We do not know, but here you are, asking and existing at the same time, wondering and being at the same time. The question and the questioner coexisting in the same moment. Think about what comes after tonight. Tomorrow you will wake up. The sun will rise or you will turn on lights, and the day will begin. You will have things to do, places to be, people to see. The question why is there something rather than nothing will probably not be on your mind. You will be thinking about breakfast or work or whatever is happening in your life. The big questions will fade as the small tasks take over. And that is okay. That is how it should be. You cannot live in the question all the time. You have to eat and work and relate to people. The practical demands of life are real and important. But somewhere in the back of your mind, the question will still be there, like a background hum, like a barely audible note underneath all the noise. And every now and then it will surface, maybe when you see something beautiful, maybe when you are alone for a moment, maybe late at night, like now. When it surfaces, you can meet it, you can nod to it, you can feel the wonder again, even if just for a moment. This is what it means to live with the question, not to solve it because it cannot be solved, not to ignore it because it is too important to ignore, but to live with it, to let it be part of your life without dominating your life. The question becomes a companion, a silent friend who walks with you. Sometimes you notice it, sometimes you do not, but it is always there, adding depth to your days, reminding you that everything is strange. And that strangeness is a gift. It keeps the world fresh. It prevents you from taking things for granted. It maintains a sense of wonder even in ordinary moments. Children have this naturally. They look at the world with fresh eyes. Everything is new and interesting to them. They ask why constantly about everything. Most adults lose this. The world becomes familiar. The strangeness fades. Questions are replaced by assumptions. But you can get it back, not by trying to be childish, but by remembering the deep questions, by letting yourself wonder again, by noticing from time to time that existence is not obvious. Tonight, you did that. You let yourself wonder. You noticed the strangeness. You spent time with the deepest question. Tomorrow, carry a little of that with you, not as a burden, but as a gift. Let it keep things fresh. Let it add depth to ordinary moments. Let it remind you that you are part of something vast and mysterious. The question will wait for you. Whenever you want to return to it, it will be here, patient, open, endless. Let it keep you humble. Let it keep you curious. Let it keep you alive to the wonder of being. You do not have to do anything. Just be available. Just let the wonder happen. The question why is there something rather than nothing is not really a question you ask. It is a question that asks itself through you. You are the place where the universe becomes curious about itself. You are the spot where existence wonders about existence. That is happening right now. The wondering is happening. And you are the shape it takes. Here is something else to consider. Everything you have ever experienced has been part of existence. Every sight, every sound, every feeling, Every memory you have is a memory of something that existed. Every hope you hold is a hope about things that might exist. You have never experienced nothing. You never will. From the moment you were born to the moment you fall asleep tonight, you have been immersed in something, surrounded by it, made of it. Existence is all you know. It is your entire world. There is no outside to compare it to, no alternative you have ever glimpsed, and yet you can sense that there could have been nothing. You can feel the strangeness of there being something. Even though you have never experienced nothing, you can recognize that existence is not obvious. It is not guaranteed. It is, in some deep sense, surprising. This ability to be surprised by existence is itself surprising. Rocks are not surprised. Stars are not surprised. But you can be. You can look at the world and feel amazement that it is here at all. Where does that amazement come from? Why do we have the capacity for wonder? Why did evolution produce beings who can be astonished by existence? Maybe wonder serves some practical purpose. Maybe it drove our ancestors to explore and discover. Maybe curiosity helped them survive. Or maybe wonder is just a side effect of having big brains, a byproduct of consciousness that happens to arise when minds get complex enough. Or maybe wonder is something deeper. Maybe it is existence recognizing itself. Maybe the universe built beings who could feel amazed by the universe because amazement is part of what the universe is. We do not know, but the wonder is real. You are feeling it right now. Notice that you can think about this. Right now, you have thoughts in your head about existence. Concepts like something and nothing. And why? Abstract ideas about the nature of reality. Where did those come from? How is it possible for a brain, a physical object made of atoms, to contain ideas about the universe as a whole? Somehow, the matter in your skull represents things beyond itself. It holds concepts that refer to everything that exists. It can think about the totality of being. That is strange. Most matter cannot do this. A rock cannot think about rocks. A star cannot have ideas about stars. But a brain can think about anything, including itself, including existence as a whole. How did matter learn to do that? How did the universe produce beings who can mentally contain the universe? This is another layer of the mystery. Not just why is there something, but why can some of that something think about the fact that there is something? Why does existence include beings who can reflect on existence? We are not just in the universe. We are the universe thinking about itself. We are existence reflecting on existence. We are the something trying to understand why there is something. And we are doing it right now. This conversation is an instance of it. These thoughts are an example of the universe wondering about itself. That loop is strange and beautiful. It has no equivalent in most of reality. Stars do not wonder why they exist. Galaxies do not ponder their own being, but we do. Maybe that makes us special. Not special in the sense of being the center of everything. The universe does not revolve around us, but special in the sense of being rare. Special in the sense of having capacities that most of existence lacks. We are the wondering part of the universe, the reflecting part, the asking part. And that is worth something, even if we never get an answer. Here is a thought experiment. Imagine that you are the only conscious being in the universe. No other minds anywhere, just you alone in an infinite cosmos. The stars would still burn. The galaxies would still spin. Physics would still work. But no one would know. No one would see. No one would wonder. Would that universe be different from ours? In terms of physics? No. The equations would be the same. But in terms of experience, in terms of meaning, in terms of mattering, it would be utterly different. Consciousness changes things. Awareness matters, not because it changes the physics, but because it adds something that physics alone does not capture. In a universe with no minds, the question why is there something would never be asked. The strangeness of existence would never be felt. The wonder would not exist. But in our universe, the question is asked. The strangeness is felt. The wonder exists. Because beings like you exist. You are not just witnessing the universe. You are completing it in some sense. You are adding to it something that it could not have without minds. You are bringing awareness into existence. That is your contribution. Just by being conscious. Just by wondering. Just by asking questions that have no answers. The universe without minds might be vast and complex, but it would also be, in a way, asleep. It would exist without knowing it exists. It would be without being aware of being. With minds, the universe wakes up. It knows itself. It wonders about itself. And that awakening happens through beings like you. Right now, in this moment, as you listen to these words and feel the wonder, let us return to the body for a moment. You are breathing. Air is coming in and going out. Your heart is beating. Blood is circulating through miles of vessels. All of this is happening without you having to think about it. Your body knows how to exist. It has been practicing since before you were born. It keeps you alive moment by moment, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat. And it does all of this as part of existence. Every breath is the universe breathing. Every heartbeat is the universe beating. Your body is existence in motion. Existence maintaining itself, existence continuing. When you breathe in, you are taking in atoms that have been circulating for billions of years. They have been part of stars, clouds, oceans, other living things. Now they are briefly part of you. When you breathe out, you release atoms back into the world. They will go on to be part of other things. The air you exhale might someday be breathed by someone on the other side of the planet. You are not a closed system. You are in constant exchange with the world around you. Matter flows through you. Energy moves through you. You are a pattern that existence maintains for a while, a shape that the universe holds together temporarily. And while that shape exists, it is aware, it wonders, it asks questions about the whole thing. That is what you are. A temporary pattern in the flow of existence, a brief arrangement of matter that can think about matter, a wave in the ocean that can contemplate the ocean. When the wave subsides, the ocean continues. When your pattern dissolves, existence continues. The atoms go elsewhere. The energy transforms. The wondering stops, but the something remains. This might sound sad, and in some ways it is. We become attached to our patterns. We want them to last. But there is another way to see it. You are part of something that does not end. Existence continues even when particular forms pass away. The universe goes on. The mystery remains. And for a little while, you get to be the part that wonders. You get to be the universe aware of itself. You get to ask the question that will never be answered. That is a privilege. That is a gift. Not everyone gets to be conscious. Not every part of existence gets to wonder, but you do. So wonder well. Feel the strangeness. Appreciate the mystery. This is your moment to participate in the great asking. The night is deep now. Sleep is close. Let your body be heavy. Let your mind be soft. Let everything relax. You have done enough thinking for one night. You have wondered enough. Now it is time to rest. The questions will still be here tomorrow. The mystery will still be intact. Nothing will be lost by sleeping now. In fact, something might be gained. Rest often brings clarity. The mind processes things in sleep that it cannot process while awake. Maybe tomorrow some small piece of this will make more sense. Or maybe it will remain just as mysterious. Either way, you will have rested. Trust the process. Trust existence. It has been going on for billions of years without your help. It will continue while you sleep. You are part of it, but you do not have to hold it up. You can let go. You can rest. Existence will take care of itself. And when you wake up, it will still be here. The world will still be here. The something will still be something. You will open your eyes and existence will greet you. Another day of being. Another chance to wonder. Another opportunity to feel amazement at the fact that anything exists at all. But that is for tomorrow. Tonight is for sleeping. Let the wonder settle into a quiet place inside you. Let the questions rest. Let everything be exactly as it is. You are something rather than nothing. You are here. You are aware. Nobody knows why, but you can feel it, and that feeling is enough. Good night from Edge of Mind. Thank you for being here. Thank you for wondering. Thank you for being part of the mystery. Sleep well. Dream of whatever you dream. And when you wake, carry a little piece of this wonder with you into the new day. The universe is strange, and you are part of it, and that is beautiful. Good night.